We made it to the postseason. The Chatham-Kent Cougars, they have a home playoff game. Peewee Division, we're underway. It's Chatham-Kent against the Brantford Bisons. Glad to have you aboard. Mike Renier with you. Solo action this afternoon. The Chatham-Kent Cougars. And we'll get things going on this Saturday afternoon from the Brantford 50-yard line. First place finish in the regular season for the Cougars in the Peewee Division. So we get things going in the quarterfinals. And, of course, first place finish, meaning the Cougars are favored here this afternoon. They will move on with a win next weekend into the semis. A great 2019 campaign for this Peewee squad for the Cougars. All four classes in action at home this weekend as Brantford has the opening possession on offense from their 50-yard line. First and 10, they'll leave it on the ground off to the left-hand side. Not a whole lot of room to work with, just passing the 50-yard line is the running back for Brantford, Gabriel Hamilton, 23. He gets the assignment and picks up about a yard. So 2nd and 9 coming up here for Brantford. Cougars trying to make a good stand on D to kick off this football game into the postseason. Later it will be the varsity squad tonight. And then 2 more games in the other 2 classes tomorrow. Beautiful weather here this afternoon and hopefully tomorrow too. They'll go to the air this time. And it is incomplete behind the line of scrimmage and blown down. The intended receiver was Hamilton, but it hit the turf several feet in front of him. So now that will bring long situation. So Cougars D will try and shut things down here and get the football back. Out of the gun, and they hand it off to the running back, eluding one tackle. Now some room to move along the near side. First down and more. Big run for Brantford. And they will move the chains. What a big job there by Adam Wright. He evaded a couple of would-be tacklers and gets all the way up to close to the Cougars' 45-yard line. Big play early on for the offense for Brantford as they move the chains into Cougar territory. 90 seconds gone in this football game. Pete Wright, quarterback for Brantford, out of the gun. And again, he will hand it off. And good job by the Cougars defense this time around as Malachi Fitzpatrick had nowhere to go. He gets wrestled down after about a 5-yard drop. So this will bring the football on the other side of the 50-yard line. And now it's an injury timeout off of that tackle as the training staff for Brantford will take a look here. Just shy of the 2-minute mark of this first quarter in a scoreless football game. Off the injury timeout, Malachi Fitzpatrick back up under his own power and heading off to the sideline. So good to see Fitzpatrick bounce back up, and hopefully he'll be back in the football game pretty soon. So the second straight series now for the Cougars D, trying to shut things down. After a 2nd and long was successful for Brantford last time around, the Cougars trying to reverse that this time. 50-yard line at Chatham-Kent in an early scoreless tie. Quarterfinal action into the postseason here with the Peewee squad. 2 minutes even gone in this football game. And once again, the snap back to the quarterback and a handoff to that far side on 2nd and long. Running back still on his feet. Cougars D trying to wrap him up. And finally, Marshall Kemp, number 12, is brought down by the Cougars. Healthy run there. He got about 8 yards, it looks like, but still well shy of the first down. So that will bring up 3rd down and about 7 here for Brantford, and they converted on 3rd and quite a bit longer than that last time around. So by no means is this a tough task here for Brantford, but the Cougars really want to get that football for the first time this afternoon. Another big assignment on D as they whistle this one down. And back at it they go. Third down and roughly 7 to go here for Brantford. High snap, and now a flag or two comes out immediately. This one going against Brantford. A likely procedure call, so a 5-yard penalty. That could be big against Brantford, so this will bring up third and close to 13. Break here for the Cougars. Let's see if they can shut them down on this first drive of the football game. Still scoreless. Third and long here for Brantford. Little pitch to the left-hand side. The pass is complete. And a few yards after the catch, up to the original line of scrimmage. So a gain of 3. And that's all they're going to get on third down, with almost 3.5 gone by in this football game. So 4th and 10. As they leave it on the ground once again, and a good job by the Cougar D right up the middle. They will get the football back, as a gain of 2 is all that Brantford can get on 4th and 10. So now the Cougars will go to offense for the first time this afternoon. It is scoreless tie. Pretty good field position, too. They will start this off at roughly the 42.5-yard line. It looks right between the 40 and 45. With 8:07 to go in this first quarter. Still scoreless. Quarterfinal. Cougars finishing first in the regular season. Playing at home here on a beautiful afternoon. So here we go on offense for the Cougars. As on 1st and 10, they will leave it on the ground. Some nice big strides and a big gain here for the Cougars on the ground. Close to midfield. And does it come loose? But a big run right up to midfield, so that was a 13-yard pickup. Great run by Gorley, I believe, who got that assignment and made it look effortlessly. Make it look effortless as we approach the 5-minute mark of this first quarter. Great first run there for the Cougars on the ground. Moving the chains, 1st and 10 once again. They leave it on the ground once again up the middle, and some more positive yards. That one taken by Elliot Pico. And Pico picks up about 4. So pretty good result on 1st and 10. 2nd down and 6 coming up now for the Cougars. Now into Brantford territory, looking for the first points of this afternoon. Into the Cougars' first playoff game of the season. Once again, they'll switch sides on the ground. There's another huge run up the middle for the Cougars. Still on the feet past the 35 to the 30-yard line. What a pickup, Jacob Pretty. He had a pretty run right up the middle all the way to the 30-yard line. A 20-yard plus run up the gut for the Cougars. So another healthy run. Good ground game to kick this off offensively for the Cougars, as we're down to 6 minutes to go in quarter number 1. Cougars marching down the field. Sawyer Emmett, quarterback, looks to his right. He's got a completed pass along the near side. Little juke evading one tackle. And Pico getting a few yards. Pico getting just short of the 25-yard line. It looks like. So a gain of close to 4 on that one. 2nd and 6, maybe 7. As they put the marker down, looks like 2nd and 7 coming up here for the Cougars, but they have made it up now to the 26-yard line of Brantford. Second down, this time they pitched off that far side, and good run at the start there for Pico, but a good job by Brantford to catch up and take him down. So now 3rd down coming up here for the Cougars. This will be an important play offensively as they look to keep this drive going. After Pico could only get back to the line of scrimmage, so no gain on 2nd down. Third down play, they keep it on the ground once again, trying to get to that first down marker. They doing more to the end zone. Touchdown, Cougars. Skylar Mattia with the touchdown. And the Cougars hit the board on home field first. It's 6-0. Skylar Mattia with the run into the end zone. Bursting past the D of Brantford, and there was no one there to catch up to him and no one in front of him. 6 points for the Cougars with 4:18 to play in the first quarter. They'll try to tack on a point here. High snap, and even with that tip, it won't count, but with that tip, would have been a successful kick, but they're going to do it again as that one was blown down. So some early movement for the Cougars on that attempt, so that's why they're going to try it again here. And another very high snap, and they're going to have to send this one to the end zone. And into the end zone they go. It is good. So whether or not that was a broken play or maybe they drew that up right from the start, into the end zone it goes on that pass. And a 2-point convert, it turns out. So an even bigger lead here for the Cougars. A successful opening drive offensively for Chatham-Kent on this home playoff Saturday over the visiting Brantford Bisons. So a great drive down the field, a mix of running and in the air too, but great ground game to kick off this playoff tilt for the Cougars. So an 8-0 lead for the Cougars. They kick it back to the Brantford Bisons as they return it past the 40-yard line, past the 45, and now some room to move down that far side, all the way down. Could they be answering to the end zone? And they do. They answer in kind. A touchdown for Brantford. Immediately getting on the board after that drive down the field by the Cougars. What a scamper down the field. It looks like from this angle, Adam Wright, 33, went all the way down the field to get a major score for Brantford. What a great job by Adam Wright. So 8-6 now the score. And they're going to try and kick her through a fairly high snap, but up and through it goes. And that didn't take long for the Brantford Bisons to get some points on the board, still trailing the Cougars. But they get on the scoreboard with 4 minutes left to go here in this first quarter. Quarterfinal matchup, an 8-7 lead for the Cougars. So after the Cougars taking a chunk of time off the clock on their drive down the field to the major score, Brantford taking no time at all, returning that kick for 7 points. A 1-point lead for the Cougars. They hang on to the football off the kickoff And close to midfield, that returns Sawyer Emmett, number 8, getting very close to midfield. The Cougars' 54-yard line. So again, very good field position for Chatham-Kent as they look to keep this offensive momentum going. A very pretty first drive down the field. But Brantford also coming to play here this afternoon. Close game, under 4 minutes to go in the first quarter. Emmett under center for Chatham-Kent. He will elect to hand it off. Now he keeps it. A little bit of miscommunication off the snap, and that is going to cost the Cougars about 3 yards as the defense for Brantford able to swarm in on Emmett, who kept the football. And 2nd and 13 coming up now for Chatham-Kent. Looked like he had a couple of options to hand off that football, but hung on to it. And the Bisons get a bit of a gift there. So 2nd and 13 coming up now for the Cougars. 3 minutes even and counting left in quarter number 1. This time, a more sure handoff. Long way to go along that far side for the Cougars on the ground, but a nice second effort past the midfield line into the territory of Brantford. And a pickup of 3 or 4 on the ground there for the Cougars. So it still sets up a fairly big task on 3rd down now for the Cougars, up to just past midfield. 3rd and 9. Big 3rd down here for the Cougars. Back to pass is Emmett looking down the field. Now he's got a whole bunch of Brantford Bisons in front of him. Evades them somehow to the 50-yard line. He comes now forced out at the 49-yard line. So when it looked like a world of trouble for Emmett, he somehow got out of it and still made a substantial gain out of that play. That does bring up 4th down for Chatham-Kent. However, you've only got about 3 yards left to the first down marker. So great job by Emmett to somehow get out of trouble there. So 4th down and 3 for the Cougars, trying to keep this drive going. 90 seconds left in the first quarter. And you want to get to the 46 for the first down. 45 for good measure. Can they do it? Yes, they can, and a whole lot more down the right side. The Cougars have another touchdown. Skylar Mattia again, his 2nd major score of the afternoon. And the Cougars get some breathing room. Skylar Mattia, 2 touchdowns and 2 very impressive runs down the field. As they'll try and kick another point through here. Wind's picking up a little bit. Snap. It's up. And it is through. 15-7 now for the Cougars, as their 8-point lead is restored. So now a flurry of offense for both sides. The last 3 drives have led to a touchdown. Two rushing touchdowns for big number 50 for the Cougars, Skylar Mattia. And his squad in the playoff opener for 2019 on home field has an 8-point advantage over the Brantford Bisons. And the Cougars special teams have to be alert. Last time this situation presented itself, the Bisons ran back the kick into the end zone. Very fresh in the minds of Chatham-Kent as they do this once again. Emmett to kick it off. Minute 17 to go in the opening quarter. Kick comes down to the 40-yard line, now bounces back quite a ways along that far sideline, and some trouble picking it up, maybe giving the Cougars some extra time, and wrestled down to the 35-yard line are the Bisons. So no return back for a TD this time around. Good job by the Cougars special teams this time as they maintain an 8-point lead and pinning the Bisons back to their own 35-yard line. 15-7 for Chatham-Kent. Minute 12 to go in the opening quarter. The Bisons off of their timeout have the football down by 8. Plenty of offense in this first quarter. A minute left to go in it from the 35-yard line. And they will keep it on the ground. Now trying to find a seam along the near side. Trying to turn the corner is Brantford. Unsuccessful. On the ground was number 23, Gabriel Hamilton. He's pinned back to around the 30-yard line, so roughly 5-yard drop on that play. So 2nd and 15 now for Brantford. Good job by the Cougar defense. 25 seconds remaining in the first quarter. Second and 15. Again, they'll keep it on the ground. And again, another job, great job by the Cougar D as they get 2, maybe 3 players on the running back. Looked like that was Dustin Pletch who had the running assignment there. Not a whole lot. Gain of 2, maybe 3. So 3rd down and about 12 coming up here for Brantford. And this will be the last play of the first quarter. Now they mark the football close to the 35-yard line, so we'll call this 3rd and 11. And now a flag comes out, 2 flags at least coming out. And turning the corner, and a nice tackle at the last moment, forcing down Gabriel Hamilton. Good job by Skylar Mattia as he's working hard on both sides of the football here this afternoon. We'll see what the flag's all about. And looks like they're going to march this football back to 35, I think. We'll see where the ball is placed, but that's going to be the end of the first quarter. We know that, and the Cougars have an 8-point lead, 15-7 in this quarterfinal playoff game against the Brantford Bisons. Start of the second quarter, playoff action. The Chatham-Kent Cougars. Mike Renier with you this afternoon. Busy weekend of football here at this complex. And the penalty was against Chatham-Kent to end the first quarter. Was declined by Brantford, so they're going to take their chances on 4th and 3. Thanks to our resident penalty expert, Off Mike, Mike Sinclair. That's his nickname, Off Mike. 4th and 3 now to begin the second quarter for Brantford, down by 8. Big situation for both sides of the football here. And now early movement. And Are the Cougars going to get bitten here? I think maybe they will. Early movement, and they couldn't get back in time. This would be unfortunate. That would give the Bisons a first down, a fresh set of downs here, closer to midfield. And it looks like this flag was actually against Brantford, so the ball comes back. And the Brantford coaching staff and fans not a happy bunch of campers here on that call. So 4th and about 7 now for Brantford. Cougars trying to ride that momentum and get the football back as they will go to the air, and it is a reception for Brantford, but a good job by the Cougars to swarm in on Sijan Matu, number 77. Matu gets the reception, but not enough to move the chains. One minute into the second quarter. And another stand on D for the Cougars, so a turnover on downs. Chatham-Kent getting the football back. Already up by 8. Cougars now will have the football. Excellent field position, too, at the 40-yard line of Brantford, trying to add to this lead. And at this point, they have had great success on offense, trying to keep it going, getting more breathing room in this quarterfinal playoff matchup. Trying to be back here again next weekend on home field in this playoff run. Still lots of football left this afternoon, though. First and 10 as the will hand it off. And again, some great long strides running back along that far side. He is wrapped up. Caleb Roberts getting minimal yardage on 1st and 10. Gain of about a yard and a half, it looks like, for Roberts on 1st and 10. So 2nd and long coming up with 2 minutes gone in the second quarter. Once again, they'll hand it off, and now some room up the middle. And another great successful run, Jacob Pretty for the Cougars. More than enough to move the chains. A first down run for Pretty and the Cougars. Once again, Pretty with the assignment. This time, though, it is Brantford ready for that as Dustin Pletch was a young man with the tackle. Second down and 10, once again on the ground for the Cougars. Elliot Pico on that ground assignment, getting minimal gain. I shouldn't say minimal, medium gain. About 3.5. So 3rd down and 6 now coming up for the Cougars. Big 3rd down here for the Cougars offensively. Now quarterback rolling off to his left, looking down the field, and it's well out of the reach of the intended receiver Caleb Roberts. And incomplete will bring up 4th and about 6 now for the Cougars. So big play coming up. The Cougars want to extend this drive and possibly add to their lead. 15-7 for Chatham-Kent. Just under 8 to play in the first half. Big play here, 4th down for the Cougars. Up the middle they go, and a big tackle for Brantford. We'll give the Bisons the football back. They handed it off to big Skylar Mattia. Off the injury timeout. What an afternoon so far. Not even one half in for Skylar Mattia. Big run to keep this drive alive. 2 touchdowns for number 50 as well so far. And the Cougars looking for more. Pass along that far side, and a diving catch attempt. Falls to the turf, but what a chance. Jaden Bayless, great dive in the end zone, but just drops to the turf.
You're hired, Herb. You're hired.
A little scramble now for the Cougars, in a world of trouble, and brought down on 2nd and long. And now it's going to be 3rd and even longer with 6:15 to go in the first half. Off the timeout, 3rd and 11 here for Chatham-Kent, looking to add to their lead. 6:06 to go in the first half. 15-7 Chatham-Kent. And once again, swarming is the Brantford defense. Nowhere to go for the Cougars. And the quarterback, Sawyer Emmett, taken down. So good strand of play there by the Brantford Bisons on D. And now 4th and very long here for Chatham-Kent. As they leave it on the ground, 4th and a mile here for the Cougars. And they will leave it to big Skylar Mattia on the big play. Not enough to move the chains or keep the football, but what they will do is they will still pin Brantford down deep in their territory as they turn the football over. So it remains a 15-7 lead for Chatham-Kent as they go back to their defense with 5:15 to go until halftime. After a couple of timeouts, here we go back to football. Offense for Brantford, a completed pass along that far side, but wrapped up rather immediately by the Cougars. Looks like C.J. Roberts on the tackle along that far side.
C.J. Roberts with a big tackle to hold that Brantford.
2-yard pickup. 4:28 and counting left to go until halftime. 15-7 Cougars. Another handoff for Brantford. Big running back, and he is tripped up. Dustin Pletch with that assignment on the ground. He picks up about 5.
Dustin Pletch with a 5-yard carry.
That'll bring up 3rd down and about 3.5 to go here.
3rd and a long 4 for Brantford.
Third down for Brantford again. They keep it on the ground. Now the ball comes loose, a bouncing football. And it looks like Brantford able to hop on it and keep possession. And that will bring up fourth down now. So fourth and roughly 3 to go.
Still managed to pick up a yard and a half on the play, setting up 4th and 3.
3 minutes even to go until we hit halftime. 15-7 Cougars with the lead. And another very important fourth down situation here on defense for Chatham-Kent, trying to get that football back with the chance for some more points before we hit the break. Another chance on the ground here for Brantford. The Cougars D trying to prevent the chains from moving. As they give it off to Pletch on the ground. Let's see where they mark the football. And a good job by the Cougar D to prevent the first down. So good effort for Pletch on 4th and 3, but it's the Cougars who will get the football back.
No, it's just pork. Why not? The pig roast.
2:38 to go in the first half. Cougars hang on to their 8-point lead. Cougars get the football back, and right away the flag comes out.
The motion by Rob, the Bisons offside, and that'll be 1st and 5 for Chatham.
Flag against Brantford, so that helps the Cougars offense here already with good field position. 2:38 to go in the first half. 15-7 Chatham-Kent. First and 5 here for the Cougars off the injury timeout. They elect to go to the ground once again and up the middle. Not a whole lot of room. About a 2-yard pickup, however, so that'll bring up a second and very manageable 3 now, deep in Brantford territory.
Setting up 2nd and a long 2 for the Cougars.
2.5 left and counting in the first half. Once again, Pretty with the football. Flag comes out. Lots of Brantford Bisons on D. Not a whole lot there for Pretty to work with. Let's see what the flags hold here. Big flag against Brantford there. Objectionable conduct. And the Cougars will take it with 2:16 left. Still lots of time in this first half. And all the way close to the end zone comes the football. Cougars trying to punch it in and expand this lead. First playoff game of the 2019 season, the quarterfinals. Cougars with a win will play on this field next weekend, off to the semis, but still lots of football between now and then. Here's a big play on the doorstep, and now early movement again. The Cougars have it at the Bisons 1. Who moved first? We'll find out. Off the penalty, the first down remains for the Cougars. Now the ball comes loose. The Cougars will hang on to the football. That's the important part, but they drop some yards.
The botch play in the backfield for the Cougars.
And second down and goal now be the situation for the Cougars. So they go from first and goal from the 1. Then the procedure call backs it up 5, and now the fumble. Yes, they do recover it, hang on to possession, but you're a ways away from where you started here, back towards the 10-yard line. Under 2 to go in the half. So here's a series of miscues here for the Cougars as they're now back 5 yards again as they
electing to take the down off the Cougars. That is their choice. So it's now 3rd and goal.
So instead of being backed up, the Brantford's now saying, take the down away, leave the football where it is. So now 3rd down coming up for the Cougars as they go from 1st and goal from the 1 to this. Up by 8. Here's Emma down the field looking for someone open down there. Here comes a flag. The ball hits the turf incomplete. And now we'll see what the infraction is here with 1:40 to go until halftime. Big penalty there against Brantford, so that's a bit of a gift there for the Cougars. It will remain 3rd down, but half the distance to the goal will make this a lot more manageable here for the Cougars. So they catch a break. Let's see if they can take advantage. On the ground they go towards the end zone. Touchdown, Cougars. It wasn't easy, but the Cougars get another major, and once again, Skylar Matea, his 3rd touchdown of the afternoon. He is doing it all. And some impressive plays on D as well. So that is big. They go from 1st and goal from the 1. They get backed up a long way for different reasons. But thanks to that penalty and Matea's feet, they get their 3rd major score of the afternoon, all scored by Matea as they look to add to it here. And it is blocked. So it'll be a 14-point lead here for the Cougars, 21-7. With 1:37 left in the first half.
Emmett to kick it off.
So a big touchdown for the Cougars puts them up by 14 as they will kick it back away to the Bisons. 1:37 left until halftime. Line drive kick to the 35-yard line, and it's held on to by Adam Wright.
Good hustle downfield by Elliot Pico. He'll get credited for that tackle.
35-yard line will be the starting point for Brantford.
36-yard line.
96 seconds to go until halftime. So the Cougar D will try and shut down Brantford once again. Brantford back on offense from their 36, 1st and 10. Back to the quarterback looking down the field. Lots of Cougars on his doorstep. Down goes the quarterback Wright. 3 green and white shirts right on his doorstep, and down goes Wright, the quarterback. And a huge loss for Brantford. Good job on D to kick off this drive.
Big time sack there by Connor Graham, and chance
Graham gets the sack.
Pursuit on that play. That results in a 12-yard loss for the Bisons.
Loss of 12. That is huge. And time dwindling on the second quarter. 1:20 and counting left. Second down and a long, long way. 2nd and 22 for Brantford. 21-7 for the Cougars. Quarterfinal playoff action. Looking to head to the semis. It will be another home game if they can get past this one. Next Sunday, I believe, is the date they're looking at. But they've got to win this one. Good start to it. On the ground on 2nd and so very long, and it will turn into 3rd and so very long. They lose a yard. So now 3rd and 23 coming up for Brantford with 51 seconds to go until halftime. Low snap dug out by the quarterback Wright. He'll hand it off to his running back, trying to juke around as many would-be tacklers as he can, trying to turn the corner along the near side. Good effort by Gabriel Hamilton, but sent out at the 40-yard line. That was a great job on 3rd and 23 for Hamilton.
Matea with some help from
20 seconds left until halftime.
Finally bringing Hamilton down.
About 5 yards shy.
4th and 8 for Brantford.
They're now saying 8 yards.
Over my shoulder and 3 patrons. Their faces.
Now I'm seeing a flag down there, and we're going to see a procedure call against the Bison. So that big run negated by more penalties. So penalty trouble rearing its ugly head again against Brantford.
And they get $167.
So off of the penalty, and now an interception for the Cougars. And run back deep into Brantford territory to add insult to injury for Brantford. An interception. Tesman Haddon with the interception. So Haddon runs it deep into Brantford territory, already up by 14. There's 10.8 seconds left to work with until halftime.
By the way, today's
Big play before halftime for the Cougars off the interception. They go to the air, into the end zone. It is caught for the touchdown. What a reception for the major score.
heavy pressure.
Emmett to Roberts.
Caleb Roberts with his first touchdown.
Great concentration by Caleb Roberts in the end zone to grab it and get 6 more points for the Cougars. And ending Skylar Matea's run for 3 straight touchdowns. It's the first non-Matea touchdown of the afternoon. Great job by Caleb Roberts. And a 27-7 lead now for Chatham-Kent as they look to have one more before halftime. It is up, and it is good.
That convert would make former Detroit Red Wing defenseman Reed Larson proud, and that's our Reed Larson with the convert. Here, minus the 15%.
Cougars offense doing just fine. A 28-7 lead as we are 4.5 seconds until halftime. Great pass play to Caleb Roberts from Emmett. And a 28-7 lead in this quarterfinal game. Playoff game for the Cougars in the Peewee division. A first-place finish in the regular season for the Peewees. And they are picking up where they left off here in this first postseason game. And they will kick it off with still a little bit of time left to go until halftime. Line drive kick to the 45-yard line for Brantford. The run back just past midfield. Nice effort past the 50-yard line from Dustin Pletch. And that, I believe, is going to do it for the first half. In a 28-7 lead for the Chatham-Kent Cougars this playoff game, the quarterfinals, the Peewee division, and a 3-touchdown lead over the Brantford Bisons. Good first couple of quarters for the Cougars. They look to move on to next weekend's semifinal game. See what the second half brings here this afternoon. The Chatham-Kent Cougars up 28-7. Third quarter to begin here at the Chatham-Kent Community Athletic Complex. Mike Renier with the Chatham-Kent Cougars up by 3 touchdowns, 28-7. As we start off quarter number 3. Quarterfinal playoff action this afternoon. Peewee's the first Cougar class to hit the postseason. Regular season ends for the other 3 classes this weekend. Great first half on both sides of the football for the Peewee Cougars. 3 touchdowns from Skylar Mattia alone. And Caleb Roberts on a pass play into the end zone. He's got the other touchdown for Chatham-Kent. Cougars with the football to begin the second half, trying to add to this lead. Rolling off to his left, and now the pass is batted down. Deflected off of one of the hands of the Brantford Bisons.
Just a little bit short, intended for Cohen Anderson.
Second down and 10 coming up here. Now it's handed off to Roberts along the near side, trying to get around the defense, and he does. First down and a whole lot more. Down the near sideline, no one in front of him. Caleb Roberts, touchdown Cougars. What a run for Caleb Roberts.
Takes that to the house.
Second of the game. Cougars' 5th touchdown of the game, 34-7, as they now really open things up in this third quarter. Trying to add one more.
Great job.
And they get it.
And Larson puts it away.
Larson adds one more for the Cougars, 35-7. A commanding lead in this quarterfinal playoff game for the Cougars. They look to keep this season going next weekend. Semis would be on Sunday. And so far, so good. Only a minute 3 into this second half. And the Cougars up by 28. Off the 5th major score of the afternoon, Cougars kicking it away past the 35-yard line. And a return by Brantford to the 45-yard line. And Gamble with the run back for Brantford. They've got some work to do. 35-7 lead for the Cougars. 2 touchdowns for Caleb Roberts, 3 for Skylar Mattia.
For the Kent Havoc women's rugby team. Worth a look, see, as that's one heck of an exciting sport as well. Take the time to watch one of these games when you get a chance.
Brantford back on offense as they hand it off, crossing the 45-yard line to maybe the 47. Small gain on 1st and 10. Gabriel Hamilton on that run.
3-yard pickup.
Second down and 7.
For the Bisons.
High snap brought down, and the Bisons keep it on the ground. One tackle evaded past the 50-yard line, And a good job by the Cougars, Matea, to send the running back out of bounds is Gabriel Hamilton. Another pretty handsome run on second down. That'll set up about a 3rd and 2 now. So a short third down situation for Brantford. Cougar teammates tying some shoes. Good teamwork there. The 54-yard line, close to midfield for Brantford. A short third down assignment here with 9.5 to play in the third quarter. It's 35-7 for Chatham-Kent in the quarterfinals this afternoon. 3rd and short. They will keep it on the ground once again, and short was Pletch. Gains maybe a yard. Oh, it looks like he fell forward just enough. From this angle, looked like he was a full yard short, but they're going to give it to him. So right at midfield, they will move the chains. 1st and 10 for Brantford. They hand it off once again up the middle. Some good momentum past the 50-yard line for Hamilton. So a close to 6-yard pickup on 1st and 10.
Setting up a 2nd and 5 for the Bisons. Good, strong run on
Pretty shaken up a little bit for the Cougars, but he stays in there. Giving Brantford a 5-yard pickup on the ground, so 2nd and 5 coming up. Clock remaining in motion, close to halfway through this third quarter. Once again, they keep it on the ground. In familiar hands of Gabriel Hamilton up the middle once again. And third down will come up. About a 3-yard pickup for Hamilton, and that's what he'll need once again to move the chains on third down.
A bounty of Cougars down.
Now another injury timeout.
Send the trainer. Pretty good.
Big third down now off the injury timeout. And again, they will give it to Hamilton on the ground, and a good job as he bounces backwards. Good coverage by the Cougars defense, and can they force him out of bounds before hitting the first down? But another last-ditch effort, and it is enough for the first down. Nice second effort for Brantford. And they will move the chains, 40-yard line, 7:13 to go in the third quarter. And they keep this drive alive, Brantford does, to try and claw their way back into this football game. Fresh set of downs for Brantford. Once again, Hamilton with the assignment. This time he's double-teamed quickly. Great job by the D. And back to the 45-yard line. 44-yard line, so a 4-yard loss.
4-yard loss for the Bisons, setting up 2nd and 14.
Cougars defense saw that one the entire way. So 2nd and 14 coming up. With 6:23 left in the third. Second and 14, they go to the air. Short little pass along the near side. He is complete to the 45 and more. Past the 40-yard line, still in bounds. And now they're going to say he stepped out at around the 34-yard line. But good effort there by Hamilton. Third down is coming up. Looks like 3rd and 3 will be the situation here for the Bisons off a big pass play.
For Robinson and the Bisons.
I missed that guy. Yep.
3rd and 3. Now a little stutter step, and is there anywhere to go here on the ground for the Bisons? Still looking for a little avenue down that far side, and he's wrestled down, trying to do whatever he could. Was Gabriel Hamilton. We'll see where they mark this football.
Looks like it's going to be 4th and a short 2 yards.
He does pick up one along that far side, Hamilton does. So still on this drive, 4th and 2 now, 5:05 to go in the third quarter. Under his own power, he walks back to his sideline. Just shy of the first down in that last play, so 4th down now and a couple of yards to pick up for Brantford. Still down 35-7 and under 5 to play in the third quarter. See if the Cougars D can take this football away. They will again keep it on the ground up the middle, and it looks like it will be on. It's going to be close from this angle. And yeah, it's going to be enough. Enough to move the chain. So they got what they needed up the middle. And they'll keep this drive alive, down by 28. From the Cougars' 30-yard line, fresh set of downs here for Brantford. Once again, they keep it on the ground, but right there, immediately the Cougars' front line to snuff that one out. 99 Chance Worley on the running back to bring him down right away.
Loss for the Bisons.
3.5 and counting to go in the third quarter. Nice job by the front line of the Cougars. 2nd down. Looks like they lost a yard, so 2nd and 11. Once again, they will go on the ground. Trying to turn the quarter along that right side. Some positive yards. That time for Adam Wright, 33, who gets the assignment. And that's good for about a 7-yard pickup, so about 3rd and 4 coming up now. Actually, 3rd and 3, so maybe an 8-yard pickup there.
Pickup of 7 yards in the play. Drew Hyde at the point of attack.
3rd and 3 here for Brantford. Down by 4 touchdowns. And again, they'll keep it on the ground, and the Cougars trying to wrap up the running back, and they finally do as down goes Wright. And Wright goes down behind the line of scrimmage. Actually, a fairly significant drop in yards, about 5 yards backwards. And 4th down and 8 coming up now for the Brantford Bisons. So in the right direction if you're Chatham-Kent. Back to the 27-yard line. So 4th and about 8 here. With 2:10 and counting left in quarter number 3. If the Cougars hang on this afternoon, off they go to the semifinals. Another home playoff date next weekend. That will go down on Sunday for the Peewee division. What a great year they've had. And the momentum continues this afternoon. And this one is caught for Brantford. And a big pickup on 4th down. A pass play is complete. That will move the chains. And this drive remains alive here for the Bisons. Down by 28. And time dwindling on this third quarter pretty quickly.
And a first down. C.J. Roberts on the tackle.
New set of downs here for Brantford. And once again, they keep it on the ground, far side, Adam Wright. Under a minute to go in this third quarter.
In the red.
9-yard pickup there by Wright, so marching towards the end zone. Around the 10-yard line where it is now. Predictably on the ground once again it comes, and now does the ball come out? No indication just yet that the ball will change hands. And the siren will go to end the third quarter. And the Cougars do get on that football. So it is recovered by the Cougars as the sun sets on the third quarter in this quarterfinal game. And the Cougars already up by 28 points, a 4-touchdown lead for Chatham-Kent. As we go into quarter number 4, Cougars will have the ball and up by 28 points. As we start the fourth quarter here at the Chatham-Kent Community Athletic Complex, Mike Renier with you with the Cougars trying to march on to the quarterfinals in the postseason. They have a healthy 28-point lead and the football back. Only downside is they are deep in their own zone. They're trying to fix that, and they do. What a great pass play. And now down the field they come. Caleb Roberts looking for his third touchdown of the afternoon. And he gets it all the way down the field. Roberts the touchdown. The Cougars extend their big lead.
Sawyer.
What a big pass play. Caleb Roberts joins Skylar Matea. Both have 3 touchdowns this afternoon. Great all-around game here for the Cougars. A 41-7 lead, trying to add to it here as Reed Larson looks to punch up another point. Can he do it? Looks like it's short. And it will remain a 41-7 lead for the Chatham-Kent Cougars. But now 3 touchdowns for both Kayla Roberts and Skylar Matea. And a very, very large lead here for the Cougars, looking to sail through this fourth quarter and into the semifinals next weekend. Kickoff, and now do the Cougars get the football back? It is Elliot Pico off the kickoff. It glanced off of the Bisons player who was set to run it back. Right place, right time off the bobble. Elliot Pico. Everything going right pretty much this afternoon here for the Cougars Peewee squad. Already up 41-7, 11 minutes away from moving on to the semifinals in the postseason. The Cougars faithful here at the athletic complex. Liking what they see here this afternoon from their first place team in the regular season. Little pitch to that far side for the Cougars, and now it comes loose once again. And I think this football is going back the other way now. Off that reception, comes loose at the 45-yard line. And it is now going to be picked up by the Brantford Bisons. They will get the football back now with 10:41 left in the fourth quarter. Off that takeaway, back with the Bisons on offense. And the ball comes past the 50-yard line.
Big carry by Pletch. Looks like
Pletch
about
with a
6 yards.
healthy run.
Second and
6-yard
4
pickup for Pletch. So now 2nd and 4 coming up now. 2 minutes gone in this fourth quarter. 41-7 for the Cougars. A big lead. Looking to punch their ticket to a home semifinal playoff game next weekend. Slated to go on Sunday afternoon. Once again on the ground for Brantford, trying to get to that line of scrimmage, having some difficulty doing so is Adam Wright. And looks like he does just get back to the line of scrimmage, so 3rd down and 4 coming up. They will go to the air, looking to air it out here on 3rd down, and a good job by the Cougars on defense. C.J. Roberts swats it out of the air.
Play by Roberts as he came across, batted that ball down.
And 4th down and 4 coming up now for Brantford.
That looked like that could have gone somewhere, but Roberts scampering laterally knocks it down and sets up a 4th down for the Bisons.
Another injury timeout here with 8:58 to go in the fourth quarter. Cougars riding a 41-7 lead in a 4th down situation coming up for Brantford. Trying to bomb it out along this near side on 4th down.
Great coverage by Haddon on the play.
And that's going to turn the ball back over. The Cougars already enjoying a 41-7 lead in this fourth quarter. 8:48 to go in this fourth. So now the daunting task becomes even more daunting for Brantford. Time running out very, very quickly to just even get back in this football game. And the Cougars, 8:48 of playing time left until they can move on to the semifinal game against to be determined next weekend. Sunday will be the semifinal game here at the Chatham-Kent Community Athletic Complex. We'll find out who the matchup will be against. But looking really, really good. Cougars back on offense after the turnover on downs, and in the air, nice. Oh, no, he drops it at the last moment. Almost a great diving attempt by Jaden Bayless, but he just couldn't hang on at around the 40-yard line, so it drops to the turf, incomplete. 2nd and 10, the situation here. Clock continues midway through this fourth quarter. Cougars keep it on the ground right up the middle. Some nice work moving a whole bunch of players pretty up the middle. Pretty play. And he's able to get some substantial yards on 2nd and 10, getting at least 5, maybe 6. Looks like a good 6-yard gain.
Pretty dragging some Bison tacklers for a 6-yard gain, setting up a 3rd and 4 for Chatham.
And now a flag comes out pretty quickly. That's going to blow the whistle on this play, leading you to believe it's going to be against Chatham-Kent as the flag comes out. Well, just ignore what I say there, as it looked like one that was against the Cougars actually going against Brantford. Up to the 40-yard line. And up the middle with Pretty. Getting a couple of yards on first down.
Jacob Pretty swallowed up by Fletch on the play for a 1.5-yard gain, setting up a 2nd and 8.5 for the Cougars.
Looking to go to the air. Now scampering off to his right. And down goes Emmett. So the Cougars now dropping a bunch of yards on second down. So that'll bring up third and about 13. Back on the other side of the 40-yard line. 6 minutes to go in this fourth quarter, and quite likely in this football game overall, as the Cougars enjoying a 34-point lead. Emmett back now, looking down the field. He will air it out along that far sideline, and it is caught. Nice reception along that far sideline by the Cougars bench. And he will still be a couple of yards shy of the first down, but significant pickup there on 3rd and long.
10-yard pickup and resulting in a 4th and a short 4.
So 4th and 4 being set up now. Certainly manageable for this Cougars offense. Not that they're in desperate need to add on at this point. Already up by 41-7, 5.5 to play in the fourth quarter. Still trying to keep this drive going. High snap brought down by Emmett, and he hands it off, but nowhere to go for Bayless as he gets brought down immediately. So that's going to turn the football back over to Brantford, and they will have 5:21 left to play with.
Almost taking the handoff, and that results in a 1st and 10.
Down by 34, 41-7. The Cougars have the lead as the personnel will change up. Dropping back to pass, looking down the field and airing it out past his intended receiver, well over the head of Joseph Kafania. Kafania about a half foot too short to hold that one in.
Coverage resulting in another overthrow and setting up a 2nd and 10 for the Bisons.
Cougars D has been on point all afternoon. Great offense too, everyone in sync, and they're going to march off to the semifinal game next weekend, next Sunday right here. We'll see who they will face. We'll know by the end of the weekend. 4.5 left in this one. Second down for the Bisons. This time they keep it on the ground. Some pretty good yardage along the left side. Still working at it, trying to fight for the first down. And it'll be awfully close. Looks like maybe just shy. Good job by Wright to hang with it. And he gets 9. Trying to get to that 45-yard line to move the chains. Down to 4 minutes remaining in the fourth quarter. Once again, they hand it off along the right side. And first down and a lot more. Still on his feet, close to midfield. Great effort there by Gabriel Hamilton. Well past the 50-yard line, very close to midfield. Chains move. And the first down for the Bisons. 3:20 to go. Hamilton heading off back to his sideline. New set of downs here for the Bisons. From the 52. And once again, they keep it on the ground, right up the middle. Now moving off to the right-hand side. First down and a whole lot more. Big run play to the 30-yard line. On the legs of Adam Wright. Huge pickup for Brantford. And midway into the Chatham-Kent field, side of the field, with 2:39 left. Now they blow the whistle on the 3-minute warning with 2:39 left. Football at the 30-yard line. 1st and 10, Brantford. Quarterback hands it off once again, right to right. And a moderate gain on 1st and 10.
Right from another 5-yard pickup tackled by Connor Graham.
Getting up to the 25, so 2nd and 5 coming up now for Brantford. Now looks like Adam Wright's heading off. High snap for the quarterback, Pete Wright. He'll hand it off near side, and some big yards this time for Dustin Pletch, who puts on his running back role there. And Pletch with some big yards. And now an injured Cougar by the 20-yard line.
Resulting in another Brantford first down, and there's a Cougar down on the
First down, they'll send it right up the middle and a whole bunch of traffic, and somehow it is caught. Up the middle, Chase Brown hauls it in from Pete Wright.
Wright's pass to Brown right on the money.
1:16 left in this 4th quarter, and another Cougar
Chatham 4-yard
is down.
first and goal.
High snap brought down by the quarterback Wright. They hand it off to the running back, who's going to rumble into the end zone, and there's a touchdown for Brantford. Dustin Pletch with the major score to get some more points on the board for the Bisons, and making it a 41-13 game.
The end zone for a Brantford Bison major.
64 seconds left in this football game. And Pletch easily able to rumble into the end zone. Not a lot of offense in this game for Brantford. Trying to add 2 to the total here, and it's going to fall incomplete on the turf. Snap wasn't the cleanest, and Pete Wright's throw was off the mark. So 6 points it will be on that play there for Brantford, and it's 41-13 with 1:04 left to go in this 4th quarter. So now a formality that the Cougars Peewee squad will keep going in this postseason. What a great year they've had. And they will be at least semifinalists. They'll move on to that semifinal game here at the Athletic Complex in Chatham-Kent behind CKSS next Sunday afternoon. Looks to be a mid-afternoon game. We're hearing about 3:30 will be the start time for that one. Opponent to be determined. A little squib kick there towards midfield, not even making midfield, and hopped on by the Cougars. And they will secure this football.
Sherborne secures the
Jude Sherborne
onside kick.
is the Cougar who hops on the football. So now it is going to be
Brantford.
likely the ending drive of the football game for the Cougars. 1:04 left to go. Now the Cougars just taking a knee.
Congratulations to the Brantford Bisons, who showed no quit today, working hard right to the final whistle. A lot of character on that club.
Second and 11 here for the Cougars.
Your Cougars will play in a semifinal 3:30 kickoff right here at the Chatham-Kent.
Another knee here as we get down to 39 seconds to go. Cougars will play out the string. Great campaign here for the Cougars on the Peewee side of things. Dominant performance against the Bisons of Brantford this afternoon. One more knee, and now it is official. The Chatham-Kent Cougars winning this quarterfinal playoff game on home field this afternoon. 41-13 over the Brantford Bisons. So again, this will move the Peewee squad to the semifinal playoff game next weekend, Sunday afternoon. Keep it to the Cougars Facebook page for confirmation on times for all four of the classes, as the other three will wrap up their regular season this weekend. But the Peewee squad moving on to the semifinal game next weekend on Sunday afternoon after a convincing 41-13 win over the Brantford Bisons. Great job by Chatham-Kent. Great season out of Brantford, too, as the Bisons putting out a great campaign for 2019. On behalf of cameraman Jeff Brooks, Mike Sinclair on the timekeeper's responsibilities up here in the booth this afternoon. My name is Mike Renier with the Chatham-Kent Cougars. The Peewee squad moving on to the semifinals next weekend. 41-13, your final score this afternoon.